Hello students, welcome to today's class. Now in this class we are going to discuss about the budgeting and financial planning. The agenda for this today's topic is to learn about how to do budgeting. So budgeting is one of the important concept in personal finance, and let us discuss about how to do this budgeting. How to know about financial planning. So also to discuss about financial planning. To realize the importance of financial planning, why this financial planning is important. So finally, what is that you are going to learn is aware about financial planning and able to apply the personal financial planning in the personal life. So this is what the agenda for the today's topic. Now let us know about what is called a budget. It is the estimation of revenue and expenses in a specified period of time. It is usually compiled and re-evaluated on a periodic basis. Let us say budget is simply a draft of expenses and income in a one particular place. So what is required to be done is periodically this thing must be revised, means compiled and evaluated. Periodically we should evaluate this budget so that they will give you valuable information about the expenses and income, and that information is very much important for you to plan the things for the future. It is the process of designing, implementing and operating expenses and revenues. So there are three important words here: designing, implementing and operating. So designing the expenses, implementing the expenses and operating expenses and revenues. So these two are the components in the budget: expenses and revenues. Expenses and revenues are the components. So what we do is these expenses and revenues must be designed, implemented and operated using the budget. It is the managerial process of budget planning and preparation, budgetary control and related processes. So all this budgeting is a managerial planning process. So what we do is we will simply manage the different things for in the budgeting process. Now what are the objectives of this budgeting? So to predict the firm's future sales. So how much future sales that we are going to generate, what should be the production cost and other expenses of the business. To predict that, what is required is you need to know the budget. So how much budget that is currently available for us. So it will tell you that how much sales that we can target. So what should be the future sales, and also what should be the production cost, and also other expenses to be based on the budget what you have. To anticipate the firm's future financial condition and future need for funds. So to understand the firm's future financial condition, future need of funds. So simply if budgeting over period of time, like 1 year period of time, if you have a monthly budget, then you might understand in what month what amount of money has achieved and also expense we have spent. So during that budget, and this will give you an information about the current month of the current year. So this way we will understand the future financial condition and also the need for funds. So how much funds that are required for the March month, April month, June, July. So in this way, in future, how much money is required and what should be the what is the current financial position and what is the future financial condition. So all this is come to know if you have a proper budgeting. To decide the composition of capitalization in order to ensure availability of funds at reasonable cost. So composition of capitalization, which is nothing but the type of capital that you are supposed to take up. Generally, firms go for two types of capitals, as you know. One is equity and the other one is debt. And we decide composition of capitalization, how much percentage of equity is required, how much percentage of debt is required to ensure the availability funds at a reasonable cost. Because if you go for high amount of debt, then maybe funds may be available at a cheaper cost. At the same time, fulfillment of debt or coupon rate is very, very tough. So at the same time, if you go for a more debt capital, then maybe whatever the profits that the company is generating, you are giving it for the more people and there is nothing left for you. So that's why both are very, very important. So to get the funds at the reasonable cost, you must definitely proportionately mix the debt and equity components, which is again planned from the budgeting only. To coordinate the effects of different departments of the firm. There are different departments exist in the firm. Like let's say marketing department, finance department and HR department. In this way, there are different departments may exist. Along with them, we may have production department, R&D. So different departments may exist in the business. So to coordinate the effects of different departments in the firm. So marketing department will put their efforts, finance will put their efforts, HR will put their efforts. But finally, collectively, all these departments' efforts might be put together to get the final output from the firm. So to get this thing, to get all the output in this way, what is required is budgeting is required. Because in budgeting, we will write down how much expenses that we are incurring and how much revenue that we are generating, which will tell us the clear picture as in what way further this marketing to be function, what way this finance to be function, in what way HR to be functioned, will be having clarity. So in this way, we can coordinate all these departments with the inputs given by the budgeting, and thereby we can handle the things in the firm in a very better way. To accelerate efficiency of operations. So definitely operations efficiency is very, very important. So this acceleration of operational efficiency, so operations efficiency is very, very important. Means we need to improve the operations from every time. So how do we do is budgeting will definitely help you in this case, because in budgeting we will understand how much expenses. So expenses of a operation and revenue of the operations. How much expenses that we have incurred for a particular operation, how much return that we have achieved from particular operation will be calculated in budgeting. So in this way, we will understand whether currently in this present operations, whether we are getting more return out of the more whatever the effort that we are making. So definitely we will understand. So that's why it will give us an input whether there is a need for change in the operations or not. So that's how we can improve our efficiency. That is why operational efficiency can be ensured by proper budgeting. To fix the responsibility of different departmental heads. So also there are different departments exist in the business. Now we will fix the responsibilities of different departmental heads by making the budgeting, because budgeting will give us the inputs about the different departmental activities. So those activities will let us understand whether the work is going in a smooth way or not. So in case if there is a requirement of correcting things, then we will correct it and give the inputs to the departmental heads. So that is also possible with this budgeting. To ensure effective control over the firm's cash, inventory and sales. So for firms, this cash, inventory and sales. So cash is very well, and then inventory is nothing but finished good at the production in the production department, and work in progress and the finished stock. So all these collectively is known as inventory, and also sales, the amount of sale that we have generated. So these three are very, very important. We need to control these three effectively, because if we have cash, then we can use this cash for the current requirements. and also inventory. So when we have inventory, then we will go for the production. If there is a shortage in the inventory, the production will be stopped. In case if there is a stop in the sale, then your production must be stopped, because you don't have that much space for your products to be kept in the inventory. That is why sales must go on, accordingly inventory must be maintained, accordingly you need cash. So these three all collectively very, very important. So you need to have effective control over this all three operations, all three components, so which is given again by this budgeting, because budgeting will let us understand so where your cash and your inventory going on in the previous times, and by taking the data from the previous times, so then we will try to estimate and correct the future things. That is possible with this budgeting. To facilitate centralized control over the firm through the budgetary system. So when we have a budgetary system, so the budget inputs will be shared with all the departments and explain the importance of the budgeting, and also we will let them understand about the control mechanism that is required for handling the things in the various departments. So this way we try to facilitate the centralized control systems in the organization. So this is in this slide you can see the simple budget for a layman. So on the left hand side you will see the income of him, and the right hand side you will see the expenses. So this is how the income will be written up on the budget. Also the expenses like rent, car, utilities, internet, phone, gas. So these are all the needs, and in the second component we have seen the wants, eating out, entertainment, new clothing, TV, all these are wants, and finally, so out of the income, how much left for savings is only $750. So this way we will understand the savings, whether we are in a surplus or we are in a deficit condition. So this budget, if you do it over a period of time, and this you will figure about savings will become to know about for every month, and there will be a variability in this figure also due to the change in the expenses and the income, and finally that will give you input about the future things, whether you know to be whether we need to go in a very cautious way or we need to go in a very smoother way. So this way we will take notes on this budget and try to make necessary changes in the future things. And now let's say the financial planning. Financial planning is a document containing a person's current money situation, long-term monetary goals, as well as strategies to achieve these goals. It may be created independently or with the help of certified financial planner. Now let us try to understand this definition. A financial plan is a document containing the person's current situation. So financial planning comprises of current money situation. So it will including your current situation, whether you are in a surplus in condition or deficit in condition will be taken into consideration, and also it is written in a document format about the long-term monetary goals. Long-term monetary goals means simply I want to buy a home. So to buy a home we need money. I need money, right? So this money is nothing but the long-term monetary goal, because I need a home after maybe 30 or 40, after maybe 20 years. I need money. So that is what a long-term goal. And also as well as strategies to achieve these goals. So financial plan is typically having the monetary goals like this, but also to achieve this target. So what is required to be done in a strategic manner? Strategic manner means, say for example, I want to buy a home that needs 50 lakh. If it needs 50 lakhs, then currently my income is 50,000. So in case if my amount, my salary is 50,000, now then how much that I can save? Whether I can save 20,000 or I can say 30,000. So then where to put this money? Whether I need to put this in an equity component or equity investment or kind of debt equity. So in what way that I have to keep this particular money, keep on investing and money to realize this 50 lakhs in some point of time, like 20 years, 10 years or 20 years, to plan this monetary objective. This is what financial planning is. So in place of this home dream, or like a financial monetary goal like a dream, like instead of home, you may have different goals, like I want to become a certified expert, or like I want to purchase a home, I want to purchase a car, I want to buy a land. So this way you may have your own goals which are related to your monetary things. So financial planning is a statement or a document that is containing your current the situation, and also the long-term monetary goals what you have, as well as the strategies to achieve this particular goal is also being included in this plan. This is what we call it as a financial plan. And this may be drafted on yourself, or can be drafted for you on behalf of you. The certified financial planners are also available, certified by the SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, and they also can help you out in drafting your own financial plan as well. So the financial plan documents an individual's long-term goals and creates strategy. So as just now we discussed, the individual long-term goals, buying a home or buying a car. So this way your long-term goals will be decided, and also creates a strategy for their accomplishment. So then we create a strategy in what way we try to achieve these targets, also being included in this financial plan. The plan should be highly individualized to reflect the individual's personal, family situation, risk tolerance and future expectations. So definitely this plan is customized and very personalized, because the risk tolerance levels of individual is different from the other individual. So definitely this the financial plan is different from one person to the another person, depending upon your financial situation, family situation and risk tolerance level, and the future expectations what you have in your career. So all these are reflected in your financial planning. And the plan starts with the calculation of person's current net worth and cash flow. So where the plan starts is assessing yourself. What is the net worth of present, and also what is the current cash flow. So it starts from that, and it emerges from that, and finally it will draft your goal what you are supposed to achieve, and also along with the strategic implementations on these goals as well. Now let's see a small video on the importance of budgeting. Now let's see, why do we need this financial planning? So of course financial planning is a very important concept which everybody should know about it. The reason is it secures your financial conditions. So you may be bad in the current situation, but when you go for a financial planning, so the financial planning guides you in what way you need to spend money, you need to earn money, and finally it will secure your financial conditions. Also helps in saving taxes. So being an individual in the society, you are supposed to pay taxes to the government. So financial planning will advise you the tax planning also. So tax planning is also a part of your financial planning. So wherein whatever the strategies that you do it for achieving your financial monetary goals, so which also includes the tax savings options. So in that way also it will help you in saving your taxes as well. Helps in planning debt-free trips. So of course trip is one of the important thing in one's life. So because we need to enjoy our life, for which we need to select a trip as one of the alternative. Now helps in planning your debt-free trips. So if you go on a trip with your debt capital, then there must be no much deeper enjoyment. But if you go on a trip with your own money, then enjoyment will be something different. helps in increasing net worth. So ultimately, financial planning increases your net worth by having a proper plan on the current spendings and savings and guilt-free spending. So normally when you spend money, so if you don't plan yourself, then you might think about their plan. Like if you don't think about children and all and you spend money, so then you may feel like it is guilty for you. So that is why to avoid that, financial planning definitely helps you. If you go for a financial planning, it covers your child health, your future. So that's why whatever the spending that you do it, you don't have a guilt feeling. Improves your standard of living. Certainly, if you go for a financial planning, it will improve your standard of living. So currently, you may be associated with a certain kind of standard of living. So whether then this financial planning will either enable you to sustain with the current what we call standard of living. Also, it will help you to improve your standard of living also. Helps in wealth creation. Certainly, it will help you in the wealth creating. Now, let us see the financial planning process. So, this is very, very important in one's life, individual's life, financial planning process. Everybody must plan their finances. There is a systematic process. Every individual should do it for their future. It starts with the first one, determining the current financial situations. So everybody should think about their current situation while we start with the financial planning process. Whether you are having more debts, currently you are earning the sufficient money or not. So this thing will be evaluated now. So in case if you don't have that, then you wait for some time where we will get some money, investable money that you earn. And then develop your financial goals. So financial goals are something like goals that are there in our life which needs money, like buying a car, buying a home, or children's marriage, retirement. All these are all goals that are associated with some money. Identify alternative course of action. Yes, I want to retire happily with a 1 crore corpus. Then what is the action plan for that? So what is the current money that I am earning, and what kind of way that I have to invest my money that I am currently getting in a systematic way to achieve this 1 crore capital for my retirement. So this is what is nothing but identifying different courses of actions, whether the equity investment is the best alternative for me to go for as one of the equity investment is one of the alternative, and debt and equity combination is one of the alternative, and then the infrastructure bonds are there, another alternative. So this way there are different alternatives that you may come across for the savings purpose, for the retirement. So these are all different things are known as alternative courses of action. And the next one is evaluating the alternatives. Yes, now we have discussed about there are different alternatives that we have for the retirement savings. So now what is the best alternative? So we have to evaluate the alternative. So whether equity investment is best, or debt equity investment is best, or infrastructure bonds are best, or any other gold investment is best. So we have to evaluate each and every one. Okay, there is an equity, then it is associated with some risk, and it is associated with some kind of return. So in that way, we need to evaluate each and every alternative that we have come to, and then we will consider the assessment like risk and time value of money, and also consider the life situation, personal values and economic factors and all into this while evaluating these alternatives, and finally come to a conclusion of one particular alternative. And this is what the outcome of this evaluation of alternatives. So after coming to a conclusion, then what we do is create and implement your financial action plan. Yes, we have decided that I want to go for a retirement corpus creation, I want to use equity. In what way that we want equity? There are different options like mutual fund, So, in equity we can invest our money through route of mutual funds. So, that way we can select one particular plan and we will create and we will implement that particular plan. So, after investing our money, implementing our money, then what we are supposed to do is review and revise our financial plan. Yes, we have decided we want to invest our money into equity through the mutual funds as a systematic investment plan, SIP. So, in the systematic investment plan, you are supposed to invest your money into equity market through mutual funds in every month or every 2 months, every 6 months. So, this way you need to understand whether your systematic investment plan is growing or not, working well as per the intended objective or not. This is what? Review. In case if wherever the mutual fund where you have invested your money into systematic investment plan, if that mutual fund is not working well, then what we do is we change our mutual fund, go for another mutual fund house, pick up best performer. So, then we will change this mutual fund with the revised mutual fund. This kind of change that we need to do it in the 6th step. So, with this step, so our goals what we have, so will be realized through this financial planning process. So, this is what is another important thing. So, now let us conclude this concept. Financial planning is a very important concept in the personal finance that makes the person financially disciplined and enabled to realize their goals. So, certainly financial planning will make you to set the goal and realize your goal. And also it will make you stable even in the tough times also. Budgeting can promote savings and showing the uncertainty expenses, showing the unnecessary expenses at times and guide the individuals every time. So, this is what about the financial planning and budgeting. Now, let us see a small quiz. Budgets can be made for whether it is for an individual person or a group of people or a business or a government or all of the above. Certainly, this is for all of the above. This is for group of the people, business, government, for even individual. So, for anybody we can make a budget. DAS is a document containing a person's current money situation and long-term money goals as well as strategies to achieve these goals. So, exactly financial plan. A financial plan can be made with the help of DAS. With whom we can make this plan? Certainly certified financial planner. A certified financial planner must be mandatorily certified by the government, that is regulatory body SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, certifies individuals through their certification programs. The certified investment planners are available, financial planners are available, and by them we can get these suggestions and we can plan. And this is what it is, disclaimer. Thank you very much for participating here. అయిపోయింది